Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome from Team Actualizers.com. And you might ask yourself, I have never heard about it. So we today introduce you to Genius Actualizer Network. And I am with you today featuring proudly one of my associates, Omozua Isiramen, certified emotional mastery coach. And we follow the intention to start a 50 video series today about emotional mastery. So Genius Actualizers and we all are here to help you to actualize your genius, to bring the best version of yourself, of your company, beyond your wildest imagination, down to earth, and to a vibrant, magnificent life and reality. So with that in mind, I am very happy and grateful that you watched the first video here of many to come. And I would like Omozua just to introduce herself in a few words to welcome you as well.
So thanks a lot for having me here, David. And as David has already said, I am an emotional mastery coach, one of the members of the Associates of the Genius Affiliates and Actualizers. And I am all about helping companies, helping them to improve their leadership, improve their communication, improve their reactions, and just really expand and achieve the things that it is they want to be able to do just by improving their communication.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So as you watch us and as you listen to the audio, if you just choose to have the audio with you and watch the video later at home, one of the interesting things is, what is emotional mastery all about? Simply said, to master your emotions, to run your own brain, to have the ability to create empowering, resourceful states, to be free of choice in what resourceful state you want to be in and what emotion do you want to amplify, enhance, and generate. And if your choices would be as long and as various as my beard hairs here indicate, what kind of life would you experience? So in edition, episode, and video number 1, Omo and I will talk about one of the brain rules to explain to you how the brain works. And the start of today is your brain follows directions. So the question is, how did you wake up today? What thoughts did you think when you opened your eyes, or even before you opened your eyes? And to what directions did that lead to? Omo, how did you wake up today?
I woke up very contemplative. I had quite a number of ideas, and I felt it was going to be a very fruitful day. So I did follow that all the way till now, actually. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
So when you think about the sentence, your brain follows directions, what kind of thoughts and what kind of experiences or memories does this bring to mind?
What comes to my mind is how subconsciously or consciously what you have in your mind actually determines the way you experience the day.
Yes.
And sometimes you do know, and sometimes you might not know. And you literally, it's like painting an invisible picture. That's what I think about. You're painting an invisible picture. that sort of forms at the end of the day. And you might either look at that picture and you might either feel, wow, or you might feel, what is that? Or it might even get you totally down. But for me, when I hear that phrase, I see it really as you are the director. You're like the Spielberg of a stage. And the outcome lies in your hands, actually, whether you know it or don't.
Absolutely, I agree. And you, as our valued spectator and viewer, take a deep breath and ponder about the difference, how your day will unfold when you wake up with a thought, how many positive surprises will wait for me today? And take a minute. What happens in the movie mind, in your inner theater? What happens when you follow these sentences? How many positive surprises will wait for me today? Maybe later in later editions teach you a little bit about the powerful use of language. It's a presupposition that you accept. You accept that positive surprises will wait for you today. And when you wake up with this, your brain follows this direction into magnificence, into searching for what you presuppose. So, when you wake up with the question, how many positive surprises will wait for me today? Your day might be different than asking, what will go wrong today first? Which we all know, it means you presuppose that something will go wrong, and even more than something, and your brain will search and detect for what will go wrong first. Not the way to go. So, Omo, can you give us another example how to wonderfully give your brain a direction when waking up to support the day to be brilliant?
Well, I like to start with a strategy, a good one of breathing in and just really imagining that there is a field of opportunities or abundance or of just goodies that I can discover, and opening my heart to that. It's me telling my brain, keep your eyes open. No, don't evaluate, don't judge, don't even expect, but just, access everything as it comes to you. And I have seen that sort of gives me an open way of viewing things that I come across without pre-evaluating them as, oh, it's going to be good or it's going to be bad, because I'm just open, non-judgmental. I'm not weighing it. Is it going to be good? Will I be satisfied with it? Just take it as it is and then explore it there and then. And that sometimes does feel a little or a lot like Christmas, the more and more you do it, because you just see the beauty in every single thing as it comes to you. You know, you have nothing to lose. It's either you're going to learn something or you're going to gain something. And that is a very good thing. That's how I love to start my day and actually go through the day. The more and more you do that, the more you will learn to fully appreciate life and what it has to teach you and give you at any given time.
Wonderful. So we just could listen to what Omozua just said, take a positive visual image from her brilliant input, and you might wake up in the morning with visualizing a goodie bag. And this goodie bag has a lot of positive surprises and many ingredients for you to learn during the day and bring you joy. So Omozua just gave you the insight and hint and wonderfully creative tip to start your day with a goodie bag experience. Waking up, today is just another day of goodie bags. Like Phil Collins had the song Just Another Day in Paradise. So just another day in goodie bag land. I remember what Omozua, the emotional mastery certified coach, told me. Wake up with a goodie bag in mind. So far for our question, your brain follows directions. And what directions are you giving your brain? So the next question is, do those directions create empowering states for you? So you might ask yourself when you wake up and when you connect with your emotions or with your internal state, what kind of state did the direction cause for me today that I gave my brain? Does it cause an empowering state for you when you ask yourself, what else will go wrong today? Nah, don't think so. But when you open yourself up for a world of possibilities approaching in front of your eyes, and you look into your palm of your hand and ask yourself, what kind of positive surprise will wait for me first today? You might even look at the palm of your hand and see an image how you so expertly spot positive surprises. I'm becoming more and more sensitive for that kind of Sherlock Holmes personality inside. So ask yourself, do the directions and the thoughts create empowering states for me? And the next question would be, and I hand it over to Omozua again, would you want to give those instructions for the brain to your children? Would you love to pass it on? So, Omo, when you think about what kind of instructions and directions for the brain would you love to pass on to children when you meet teens, when you meet young adults, when you meet thriving young souls? What kind of directions and empowering states would you love to pass on to them?
That is indeed a very interesting question. I think the young ones, the you know, children, they're very creative, and they go out into this world which sometimes does appear scary. So I think, like, if they had these, if they were able to put themselves in certain states that would help them just go through the day, the world, any setting they might find themselves in, and just feel like I don't know, having a kind of Harry Potter state, I would say.
Oh, awesome.
Where they have a wand and they just know that they, you know, it's like an internal invisible wand. They are the only ones that know where it is, and that they can just use that to put themselves in a resourceful state, a state where they can just say, okay, this is just a little hurdle.
Daily magic unfolding.
Yeah. And I think that will make them also, or even an adults, experience their day differently, resourcefully, because life is just there. It's like, I feel like it's a platter, and you go through it and you can start eating from any part of the platter. It just depends on what you start with and how you do it and what utensils you use. And that is it. When you're able to give your brain instructions, directions that help you to go over one hurdle or go around it or go under it, but to keep on striving forward. That is what I call when you are now mastering your emotions and being able to say, I had a good day in every sense.
And I deliberately contributed to it with my magic wand. And I love Omozua. I love so much that you used the picture of and the word of a painting in a few minutes ago, where you are the decision maker, where you are the one behind the steering wheel of your brain. What kind of colors do you use? What kind of thoughts do you put in the picture of your day? And how you drive your own bus and how you master your own brain. And this is what emotional mastery is about, to be the chooser instead of the victim. And the last question before we give you an exercise, and I woke up in the morning and I communicated with a person who said to me, you know, in your book, you mentioned it is never too early to have had a wonderful, exciting, magnificent, amazing past. So how do you do this? And I said, you know, the way, and we will come back to it in a later edition, the way you think back to your past is a selective evaluation of a memory, how you represent what happened in the past. And our memory is subjective, limited perception, and just based on how we memorize it. So today, after the last question of the topic, your brain follows direction, we want to show you how to change your personal history, how to completely change an unresourceful situation in very, very, very short time, and how to rewrite your history in quote unquote. And a few days ago, I watched a conversation where a person said, I don't even know what happened in my past because I changed it so much. And I totally restructured my memories. I did reparenting. I had unresourceful situations with my parents, so I changed the memories and the situations. I reparented myself. And so we want to show you how easily you can change your personal history. But before we do, the last question about your brain follows direction for today is, do the directions you give your brain define and promise an abundant, exciting, and awesome life? So consider the directions you give your brain a foundation of a map and a blueprint how you paint your life to unfold. So, Omozua, when I hand the question over to you, how would you love to map out the blueprint for your awesome, magnificent, and brilliant life based on the directions you give your brain? What would you desire to feed your brain to have the highest actualization of a wonderful, magnificent, amazing, and abundant life?
Oh, that's a lot. Could you so much? I think where I want to start, what I'd like to start with at any given time is to start with, to aim for unconditional love. For me, I have to say everything, the more and more I understand the importance and the benefits of understanding emotions, the more and more I know that it has to definitely start with unconditional love. A situation where you go through life and it is win-win for everybody. Nobody is more important than the other, where we are all energy. We are energy in motion. And so the only thing that differentiates one energy from the other is the fact that we have different coatings. but communication could be just so awesome if we were just, I see heat, warmth, positivity, and not just this affirmations of saying, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. I mean, like a really true, unconditional, no evaluating, no judging, togetherness. And going through life like that, I think, is the key, and definitely will enable me to, and anyone who decides to embark on such a wonderful journey, to be able to face whatever life brings to you. It's a lesson, it's a gain, but just going through it and being fulfilled from the heart inwards, outwards. And yeah, I can't think of any better way to express it, actually.
Wonderful. That reminds me of a quote of Dr. Richard Bandler, co-creator of NLP, who certified me 25 years ago. The Richard said, love is everything, and freedom is all the rest. So, with that in mind, breathe deeply again here and ask yourself, what directions do I want to give my brain to map out an abundant, magnificent, and amazing life? And you might ponder about it. We wanted to open the stage today and bring it closer to actualize your genius and emotional mastery by asking you 3 questions. What directions do you give your brain? Are you taking care that those directions create empowering states for you? And would you love to pass it on to your children, what you feed your brain? So be cautious that you feed your brain resourceful, empowering, and wonderful directions. And what kind of directions would you need to give your brain to map out magnificent, brilliant, wonderfully unfolding life? And if you say so, well, David StClair, Omozua Isiramen, you have talked about changing personal history. I want to change a situation that is uncomfortable now. We can do it. And we will do it now. So, Omo, my question for you is, as I sense that you are so completely ready for it, we want to avoid traumatic situations. We want to just choose a situation that feels a little bit yucky and uncomfortable and inconvenient for you. As you just search inside, what situation would be the best to change now? Just give me a sign when you have identified a situation that would be appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay. So be so kind and close your eyes for a little while and connect with the situation. Keep your hands apart from each other, please. And connect with the situation and see what you see. Hear what you hear there. And feel what you feel. If it's a movie or an image, just connect with it for a little while to be in the state of this inconvenience. And when you are in this inconvenient state, just nod with your head like a yes. And I now kindly ask you to put your left hand on your left knee and press your knee as strong as you can as you stay during the pressure in that inconvenient situation. And please give the situation a single name that you can share with us, a single noun.
Irritating.
Irritating. Okay, so back into the present moment. Shake your body, move a little bit around, and tell us one of the most funny jokes that you've ever heard that is suitable for people who are under 18.
It's funny, I'm not really good at telling jokes, actually. I couldn't. Somebody asked me the other day what my name was, and I had said Omo. And for some reason, she asked, "How do you spell that?" And I went OMO. She was like, "Oh, why would your parents do that? Why would they name you a detergent?"
Yeah, they did it to give you the impossible challenge to spell your name backwards.
Exactly. And I said, well, it's not Omo, it's actually Omozua, which would make it Omo, but it was kind of a funny setting.
My name is Omo. Oh, how do you spell that backwards? Wonderful. Omo. Or I just spell you backwards for a change. Omo. Please come up with the most empowering resource you would love to experience in the situation. What kind of resource would be totally rock the boat and completely be awesome?
Breath. To be able to breathe in such a setting. Breath.
To be able to breathe.
Yeah.
And I don't have my crystal ball here in front of me, so I look into the magic wonder palm of my hand again. And I see that you have experienced many empowering situations in your life where you are so totally able to breathe. Whether or not I spell your name backwards, you totally know. So pick the most empowering situation where you're able to breathe. And close your eyes, please. And so deeply dive into the situation where you are so ultimately wonderfully able to breathe. And see what you see there. Hear what you heard. And feel what you felt. And amplify the magnificent feeling and double it. And go even deeper, 10% with every third breath here. And now take the other hand and choose the other knee and press that very strong when you are completely in the resourceful state of breath. And press it harder and anchor it with the wonderful resource of being able to breathe. And come back into a present moment when you have been finished with this. That looks like extremely empowering. Yeah. So that's about spelling your last name backwards, please.
Nemarrise.
ISI. CSI. I'm a detective of emotional mastery, and I show you the resources in front of your eyes now. What is the average cost of 21 eggs in Luxembourg?
350.
350. Interesting. So what are your most two favorite movies?
Under the Tuscan Sun and Message in a Bottle.
Message in a Bottle. And we might find something in the bottle that is a message that gives your brain the most wonderful direction here.
Absolutely.
So, Omo, what I want to do now is to close your eyes again and fully start and fire and unleash the anchor situation number 1. And directly situation number 2, both knees, that nobody knows whether it's irritating that you can breathe in the situation, or whether it's so wonderfully breathing and irritation away. And it might be a totally melting and merging and interesting thing that people can breathe irritations away, or it might be irritating that you can breathe so good that you are so deeply non-irritated that you can so wonderfully breathe. And when you experience now how the situation changes and the resource sinks into the old situation, where you are so totally wonderfully surprised that breathing is far from irritation, and it's so wonderfully non-irritating that breathing is irritating like zero here now. Just give yourself a minute to experience what changes into a wonderful direction here. Left and right unite, both of them together, and breathing into everything and knowing that you can so wonderfully breathe no matter where you are. Irritation is breathing away. Maybe an irritation that is breathing isn't an irritation anymore. That's right. And when I count from 3 to 1, you just come back into a present moment with a sense of wonder and surprise and magic and magnificence, remembering you want. 3, 2, 1, back into the present moment here. Oma, I wonder how easily you would be able to spell emotional mastery backwards.
YRETSAMLAN OIT
See more.
OMO.
See more.
Not OMO.
I once met a dolphin, and the dolphin said to me, "My name is See more than you have ever seen before." So, Seymour reminded me of the intelligence of a dolphin, and we as humans are at least as intelligent and even more, because we can just find what makes us breathe so wonderfully.
Yeah.
So I just invite you to put your knee on the first knee, put your hand on the first knee that we did, the unresourceful situation that has been not anymore. And close your eyes and experience what happens when you in vain try to connect with it as it was. How is it when someone tries something so totally in vain? Try in vain to get the old situation back. What happens when you connect with it now?
I'm breathing. So I'm breathing. It's gone. I'm breathing. So whatever is irritating is not
So
there.
when you think back to it, what happened when you put both hands on the knees? What was the inner process that you experienced?
The inner process was, I think I did magnify to an unbelievable state. Like I'm in a bubble of breath, of air. I'm in a bubble. So actually, I'm quite protected, I have to say. It wasn't possible for me to access that state anymore, to actually let that state. The state enters the bubble, but there's just so much air that it fades away, and it's okay. It's okay.
Perfect. So was there also a change in the visual representation in your inner movie mind, in your cinema?
Yes, light, no tension, free space,
Perfect.
Yeah.
So when you think of a similar situation in the future, how do you represent it now when the pattern might occur again, or the situation?
Oh, I think I would use the same pattern that you just taught me, which is to definitely think of something that I would want to feel and magnify that very, very much.
Be so kind and close your eyes and think of tomorrow, and think as if the situation would occur tomorrow. What happens when you think about it now?
So now I see it. It's crawling towards me. I think I have a little smile on my face because I kind of, I recognize it, and I sort of deeply know that we don't want to get it too close to us. So I am now sort of tapping into a resource, a state that I do want to keep me away, or to keep that away from actually entering my system. So I'm breathing, and I am creating the state I want to be in, where that unresourceful state, actually, I think I'm projecting it into the sun right now.
Awesome.
I'm just projecting it, and I'm pushing it back. I'm just pushing it back as my resourceful state becomes bigger. And then this little eeny-weeny state actually disappears in the sun because I just don't see it anymore. And then I can go about my day.
Perfect. Congratulations, you just changed your personal history. So whenever you want to change your personal history as well, you can connect with Genius Actualizers Network, with Omo and me, for example. You will meet the other two Genius Actualizers members, Ilka Chavez and Bodo Frost, both also certified emotional mastery coaches, in future editions. And we hope, seriously, that you had as much fun as we did, that you enjoyed our first video. So emotional mastery coach Omozua Isiramen, OMO, and you learned to spell her name backwards as well today. That might be the most important that we could ever teach you. Maybe not. So with that in mind, your brain follows directions. Take care that you choose the most empowering directions that create wonderful states, empowering states that you would love to hand over to your children or to future generations. And take care that you choose, with your magic wand, states and directions for your brain that map out a wonderfully empowering life. So this was the first video from Genius Actualizers, Omozua Isiramen, Dr. H.G. David John StClair. And look out for more videos to come soon. We are honored and happy and grateful that you watched us. To your unfolding emotional mastery, running your own brain, and a brilliantly mapped out life.
Thank you.
See you soon.
See you soon, everyone.